exactly.
I don't know, Carl, what was your favourite nursery rhyme when you were growing up?
Didn't really do that much reading as a kid.
Are you joking?
You surprised me.
You're joking?
What's the one with, loads of people in a bed? What's that one?
Oh, there was one of the bears and the little one said roll over. Yeah.
No, because that's not really even got a story to it, is it? That's
But
just...
hold on though, I'll stop you there. It doesn't even say people. It says there was 10 in the bed and the little one, little what? They could be anything. I don't know what they are. Roll over, and they all rolled over and one fell out. There was 9 in the bed and the little one said, roll over.
Now, where is the little one in the bed?
I don't know, but worse than that, what has he got over the other 9?
That he can demand they roll out the bed.
And why is no one getting back in?
Yeah, they're just lying on the floor.
We're here now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But how does that end as well? Where's that going?
It goes on, there was one in the bed, and the little one said, again, he just says, presumably he's telling himself to roll over.
Yeah.
There was one in the bed, there was a roll over. So he rolled over, and one fell out, that's him.
That's him.
There was none in the bed, and the little one said, roll over. So now he's calling the shots, presumably laying on the pile of other...
They're just still rolling around.
I don't know, Carl. We've got to look into this. If anyone knows why Dumpty was an egg, if Hubbard eventually found a dog a bone, and what was the little one doing? What did the little one think he was doing, for God's sake?
When I saw my dad last year, he was telling me about a fella who's got some clothes you can see through. What's that one?
You don't mean the Emperor's New Clothes?
Yeah, what's that one about?
Well, that's a genuinely good little parable, that.
Yeah, because it's now used for, people who are scared to sort of slag something off because it's sort of like really cool and they don't want to be the one that shouts it, and then one person goes, hold on.
Very briefly, Carl, very briefly, the king wants some new clothes, right? He's the king, he goes, who's gonna make me some new clothes? Various people come to me and says, I don't like that, it's not interesting enough. One guy, who's just a bit of a con artist, he comes along, he goes, I've made you this magic suit, look, and it's nothing. He goes, put it on, the king puts on nothing, because there is nothing, but thinks there's something, because, you know, he wants to buy into it and everything.
And he goes, it's the finest stitching, he goes, look at it, can you see it? No, they have to say, only a genius can see how good this suit is. And the king goes, yeah, it's brilliant, yeah. It's great. And he goes out, and just, is it a woman or a little kid?
Well, everyone's applauding, they're going, you look great, even though his tackle's hanging out, he's, you know, he's nothing.
Even though he's got a king-size, sort of like, bit of meat and 2 veg, wobbling, dragging down the street.
Exactly. And then one little boy goes, he's not wearing anything!
The king is in the Altogether. Know that one?
So, well, did anyone else buy one? Or was...
Oh. Okay, play record.
Play a record, Carl.
Play record.
Carl, just play a song.
Jesus. Travis, writing to reach you on XFM 104.9, alright?
Couple of emails here, try and respond to our requests for nursery rhyme related information.
Oh, go on.
Nikki Williams says that she was at infant school and she had a nursery rhyme book, and in the book, and this may just be the illustrations, but apparently the 10 in the bed in there were small baby monkeys, which you'll be loving, Carl. But again, I suspect that might just be the illustration.
Yeah. I remember I had a book of nursery rhymes when I was little, and my brother, who was older than me, I was about 5, so he was about 16. I remember him and his mate just absolutely cracking up, because it said, up Jack got and home did trot as fast as he could caper. He went to bed and bandaged his knob, N-O-B, with vinegar and brown paper. I've since found out the knob is like the old English for head, but I didn't know why they were laughing.
Of course.
They were just cracking up. This was, whenever one of my mate's brothers came around, he said, where's your nursery rhyme book? And he'd read it to him. Yeah. And it was just the funniest thing in the world.
The brown paper and vinegar was a popular method, because didn't Jack and Jill use that? They used something similar.
No, that was Jack and Jill.
That was Jack and Jill.
Yeah, that's Jack when he broke his crown, which obviously, that means his head as well, doesn't it? Yeah. So he's fractured his skull on a sort of like an outcrop of rock. Yeah. And then, is that still used, the brown paper and vinegar? I don't think it is. I don't know, maybe in Manchester they're still using that, I'm not sure. Yeah. Tracy and John Burton say that they, reckon Humpty Dumpty was actually a cannon that used to sit on the walls of the castle, in Colchester, where they lived. That makes sense. Yeah. That would make a lot more sense. On a wall. Had a great fall, because we couldn't put them together then. So, he had they broke the cannon, or it meant it exploded. Maybe the cannon fell apart. Because people used to get blown up by cannons, just doing it wrong, didn't they? Sure. Which is hoist by your own petard. Right. Where that comes from. Right. Coming back and blowing up in your face. So that makes slightly more sense, because you would want to send for the King's Men then. Yeah, and the horses. I think the horses just came along anyway. That was quicker. Sure. The quick King's Men, it took them about 3 minutes, with the horses there in about a minute. So, but I mean, if it blew up, there's nothing I could do. Yeah. So we got to the bottom of that. See, the educational, Carl. See, this is real education. You know what I mean?
It's got a bit heavy though, doesn't it?
What, Humpty Dumpty? Yeah, it has got a little bit heavy. Let's dumb it down a little bit. What do you want to do? Mary quite contrary?
We're doing Rockbusters in a bit.
Hang on a minute.
What?
Before you even get to Rockbusters, oh, man alive, there are loads more verses to Old Mother Hubbard.
Are there?
I'm gonna digest these while we play the ads, and I'll see if there's any salient information I can give you afterwards.
Brilliant. Delays. Long time coming on XFM 104.9. With Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington for the last time.
XFM 104.9.
Sad.
We've established that Hubbard went to the cupboard, Rick.
Yeah.
Get the dog a bone, the cupboard was empty.
Yeah.
As we all know. And
So the dog didn't have any. End of story. So the dog didn't have any.
Well, no,
Hold on,
wait.
go on, what?
It turns out there's what appears to be something like 15 other verses.
Not really.
Unbelievable. I'm not going to go through all of them, Rick.
Right. Any information?
Well, basically, I can tell you straight away that the dog initially had none.
Yeah.
She went to the baker's to buy him some bread. When she came back, the poor dog was dead. Right, you're pretty upset about that.
Yeah.
She went to the joiner's to buy him a coffin. When she came back, the poor dog was laughing. I don't know what he's up to.
Right.
She took a clean dish to get him some tripe, but when she came back, he was smoking a pipe. I mean...
So the dog was winding her up then at the beginning, being dead.
I mean, he's pushing his luck.
But-
especially if she's already depressed.
But, do you know, if I was that dog, right, and I live with Old Mother Hubbard, right, all that faffing around, I'd be going, I know there's no bones in the cupboard.
Exactly.
Right? What do you mean you're going to get me some bread? I'm a dog.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in bread. Get me some hamburgers.
Yeah.
So, I think I'd start winding her up.
She went to the Our House to get him some beer. When she came back, the dog sat in a chair.
See, I'd have said the dog had turned queer.
Yeah.
Make it rhyme, believe, and also get a little, you know, he's smoking a pipe, he's having a laugh.
I'm beginning to wonder
He's bent. I'm
beginning to wonder if this is based on fact, though, in any way, because she went to the grocer's to buy him some fruit. When she came back, he was playing the flute.
He's gay.
No, it is the flute, it's not, now this, I didn't even know there was a goat involved. She went
no.
She went to the tailor's to buy him a coat. When she came back, he was riding the goat.
Yeah, there you go. Dirty little, what?
She went to the Hatter's to buy him a hat. When she came back, he was feeding the cat. I mean...
I can't believe it. So I'm thinking the pipe's a crack pipe.
Hang on a minute. I think the gay thing's beginning to stand up.
Go on.
She went to the barber's to buy him a wig. When she came back...
He was having a frig?
He was dancing a jig. He's dancing a jig. You're dancing a jig.
He's dancing a jig, smoking a pipe, shagging a go.
This is a bit of a left field one though. She went to the cobbler's to buy him some shoes.
Why does he need shoes? I bet they're high heels.
Wait a second though. She went to the cobbler's to buy him some shoes. When she came back, you're never going to believe this.
What?
He was reading the news.
Brilliant!
She went to the seamstress to buy him some linen. Again, don't know why. When she came back, the dog was a-spinning.
Yeah.
She went to the hosier's to buy him some hose. When she came back, he was dressed in his clothes.
Why did she want to
this is the big payoff that we've been building to.
Right.
The dame made a curtsy, the dog made a bow, the dame said, your servant, the dog said, bow wow.
Right.
I mean...
Okay.
I'm
gonna probably do a few more verses during the next song.
the course of the show?
Yeah.
Listen, before we move on, I should just say that we've had various people saying what was in the bed and what was the final line of the bed thing.
Why do they care?
It's extraordinary, isn't it? We've talked about politics in the past, great music, we played great songs.
Yeah, we've got Monkey News coming up talking about politics.
But Danny's said that apparently it ends with one in the bed, little one said good night.
Because he was all happy, he had the bed to himself, and there's nine of his mates piled on the floor.
Rick, but Ava counters that by saying, actually, one in the bed, the little one said, come back, because he felt lonely. So,
we're never going to get to
I don't know, Rick.
This is the same as the Kennedy thing. There's loads of different opinions.
Conspiracy theories.
I know, we don't know what's going on. But Jimmy Webb, we go,
So,
So you're all these Beatles, they're scrolling around, right? You're sort of like watching them, and then you realise that you want to mate with this female Beatle. What do? What's your first move?
Yeah, but I don't know what Beatles do I? So I don't know what you do. I don't know if you go up and go, right. What did they do? How did they get on?
Well,
it's a different world. I don't know yet, do I? Because I haven't done it.
Would you feel bad, because having your own mind in this Beatle, right? Would you feel bad shagging a Beatle? Would you feel that was a bit sick, because you've got a human mind?
Well, no, because you just close your eyes and that, wouldn't you? Think of something else. So, get round it that way. There's no point getting down about it, because I'm stuck now as a beetle. So you've got to get on with it.
But if you're a slug, you said you'd throw yourself in the salt pot. What would you do if you were a beetle if you got depressed? And you see all the other humans. No, you see your mates, right? They're listening to the iPod. What would you do?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying, though. Beetles are different, because they do tend to hang about with each other. A slug's always on its own. It's a lonely insect, isn't it?
It's not an insect.
All right, what is it?
A mollusk.
Right, they're lonely. I've never seen a load of snails all together or slugs wandering about, whereas beetles seem to knock about in crowds.
Yeah.
So, oh God, okay, all right, another one.
So they're sociable creatures, and it wouldn't bother you that you've got the mind of Karl Pilkington in there? Because you can't communicate with these people, because they don't speak English, they don't have any communication with you.
Yeah, but if it's happened to me, there'll be another one in there.
Okay then, right, okay. What would you do, right? That's the most disgusting thing. What could it be? Right, what would you do, right, if you were suddenly a fly, right, and you were knocking around with the flies, right, and you had to land on some
excrement?
Yeah. What would you do?
Yeah, but I don't have to.
What do you mean? You're a fly. You're loving it.
I wouldn't be loving it, though, would I?
Why?
Because I'm me in that fly's head. So I don't think other flies would be going, come on, join in. I'd just be like, no, I'll wait here, wait, watch and that. Because I don't see why they have to do that.
What would you do, right, if you had to go back and you were in a, had to go and put your mind in, like, an unhatched egg of something, like maybe one of those that a wasp was injected in a spider, so you're in an egg, right, which is really uncomfortable, in a spider. How would you feel about that, Karl? You're a baby wasp in the abdomen of a spider,
and I know everything that I know now. I'm sat in there.
Yeah. And now I'm in a spider as an unborn wasp. What the fuck am I doing here? What's going on?
I don't know what I'll do there. Probably try and sleep. There's nothing else to do, though, is there?
I just pray to God it never happens.
I don't believe it. He's written it down.
Well, that's the jingle that signals it's time for more extracts from Karl's diary, and we'll lunge straight into it. Wandered down Carnaby Street. There was a happy homeless fella. I gave him £1.50. I thought of a tongue twister after giving him the money. It goes, if you can't treat a cheerful tramp, what sort of tramp can you treat?
It's good, that.
All right.
Say it fast.
If you can't treat a cheerful tramp, what sort of tramp can you treat?
Yeah, good, isn't it?
Good, that, yeah. You've got too much time on your hands, Karl.
Learned some famous quotes to see if they are as good as my sayings. Number 1, treat every day as if it's your last. Very famous saying. Now, is that something you do, Karl?
But you know, my problem with that one is that if it was your last, you wouldn't want to be doing much. That's the only problem I've got with that. I wouldn't want to, go to a fairground or whatever, because you're going to know it's my last day, what am I going to do? And I think you'd spend so much time worrying about what you're going to do that you'd end up staying in.
I think you're right. You've taken some of the poetry out of it. I think it means live life to the fullest, right?
I like the fact that you were musing on the idea that if it was your last day, you'd go to the fair. It's getting such a 19th century way of spending your final day.
I know, yeah. Well, the thing is, the other thing is that the only thing that people get depressed about in terms of sort of like, life and death is not the knowledge that they're gonna die, but more the knowledge that they know they're gonna die when they're dying. If someone told you, no one ever knows when they're gonna die, no one ever gets an illness, no one ever gets hit by a truck, everyone passes away peacefully in their sleep, dreaming they're riding a big marshmallow, right? Then you wouldn't care about anything. It wouldn't matter when. It wouldn't matter if you died tomorrow or in 30 years' time. You'd just live life to the full. You'd have it every day would be great. You'd go out, you'd come back, you'd fall asleep. That would be amazing. There'd be no stress. There'd be no angsty, we're all going to die stress, because it wouldn't matter, because it would just be your life. Wouldn't it be amazing if someone guaranteed you, Karl, you're going to die in your sleep? I'm not going to tell you when.
Yeah, but some people do, don't they?
Well, exactly.
Yeah,
but we never know we're going to, because we stress. What if we get a dreadful illness? What if we,
But we're almost not letting people die naturally anymore, are we? Because we're always bodging stuff up.
What do you mean?
Well, someone who might naturally die in the sleep aren't allowed to naturally die in the sleep because they wake them up with those electric things and get them going again and pop in a new lung or whatever whilst they're at it. That's what I'm saying. They don't just... You never hear it anymore, do you? Frank peacefully died in his sleep. No, he died on the operating table whilst we were putting in a new lung. They don't die naturally anymore.
Frank died peacefully with 40,000 volts going through them and a couple of people going, clear! Clear!
Rushing about today. Got to get a lot done as I'm flying to Malaga tomorrow to see my mum and dad. Don't like flying. I'd be happy if they give you a parachute instead of a life jacket. They say Da Vinci invented the parachute as well as the helicopter. He never got round to making them, though, because he only drew them on some paper. Got up at 5 a.m. as I had to get to Heathrow to get on the plane to see mum and dad in Malaga. Went out for a drink with a cousin who lives in Spain. Ain't seen her for 27 years. Oh, that must have been tricky, making conversation.
I didn't really bother. Because where do you start? I might as well go up to anyone in the street and start having a chat.
Yeah, you have to get further back than... did you want Chantal to win Big Brother?
Yeah. Me dad and me talked about history. I said we shouldn't go on about things that happened ages ago because I bet something similar has happened more recently.
Brilliant.
Read about an island in the Indian Ocean where there are tribesmen still living like they're cavemen. A helicopter tried to land and the tribesmen chucked spears at them. This is what I meant about not having to talk about things that happened ages ago. We have got new cavemen now, so why do we talk about the old ones? People could have lived before, but computers and all that blew up and books got burnt, so all they had left was what these tribesmen have got left.
Ramblings
And that's the ramblings
madman.
of a maniac. That's just a few hours before you go crazy with a gun in there.
No, but what I mean there is, right, say if all this has happened before, something happens.
Again, a lot of information from the Planet of the Apes.
World ends, right? We come back again somehow.
Yeah. It's the detail you leave out that makes you intriguing. Just like the watch that you can wear that tells you when you're going to die. How does it work? Pop it on your wrist. That's all the detail you need. So the world happened, we came back,
Have you seen the pictures? Forget it then if you don't get it.
It's interesting that you had all those profound thoughts about this period into the past when they all lived, but you've still found it appropriate to include at the end of that. It says the tribesmen wave their knobs about when they've had enough of having visitors.
That's what it said in the paper. That's what happens. They're quite happy.
What paper is this that you're reading?
It was in like a paper a couple of days ago. It said they don't mind having visitors if they're bringing them coconuts and stuff that they can eat. Once they've got everything they need, they start waving the tackle about, and that means like, right, leave now, which you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, at a dinner party.
My grandfather used to do that.
Oh, did fancy that monkey news?
That jingle is getting more annoyed by the week.
Well, this is the final monkey news, right? I'm not doing this anymore, right? Because we've covered it all.
All the monkey news has been covered?
It has. We've done loads of them. I think all the news that needs to be sort of known has been told, right?
That is the end of the news. Jesus Christ.
What?
Get on with it.
Right, do you know we chatted about the monkey that went into space and stuff?
This was the one that was fed by bananas that came out of a little chute on the spacecraft.
Yeah, it went up there. He came back. He could never get that
the high exactly,
again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He tried other things. I think he tried to get a band together and that. Right, so anyway, there was loads of monkeys that were signed up to this NASA program, and it was 1961 when this little monkey called Ham, that was his name, as well as him, there was one called Enos. So anyway, what I found out about it since then, Ham went up there, did the left-right business with the bananas. Enos, they didn't put as much work into the trip when he went up there, and something went wrong with the machinery. And do you know how you get a banana for the left button and all that?
It's official now. There's two buttons in this spaceship. Banana dispenser and everything else. The right button is everything else.
But it worked the other way. The machinery went weird.
Oh no, really?
So it meant that the right button would give him a banana.
Right.
The left button did everything else.
Oh no.
How does
So
that
what had been taught?
What?
This is the problem with electronics, isn't it?
Well, no, I don't think
Apparently this is the problem.
But the good I mean, honestly, look it up if you want. This is all online, by the way.
So what happened when it all went haywire? What occurred?
Luckily,
Carl, this is online and it's bollocks.
Luckily, Enos because he'd done a few trips.
Right,
so he was like, well, I know this isn't right. As much as I love bananas, this isn't right.
That was his thinking, of course it was.
So anyway, so he came back, they were all like over the moon with him.
He said, I can't work with these conditions.
Good mission and everything, well done on working it out. He sorted all that out. It moved on a few years. Armstrong's gone up there, Buzz and that other fella. They've been up there, the monkeys aren't needed anymore. But they were like, we've got all these monkeys who have done NASA training. What are we going to do with them all? And they had to raise £14 million to make them like an old sort of chimp home for retired
retired NASA-trained monkeys.
Chimpanauts. Something they've got in there is like a little museum, right, of all the missions and that they've been on, so they can sort of, even though they're not going to be going into space again, they can almost relive it and reminisce of the times that they've had. And
they're reminiscing with each other, are they?
Just sort of going, oh, remember that time when it all went wrong, the button became the left when it should have been the right and all the rest of it. They just, you know, sort of talking about old times and what have you, like old people like to do.
Sure.
And yeah, that's it. So if you want...
Perhaps we should retire Monkey News to that same place.
That's what I mean. So, you know, I hope you've enjoyed the Monkey News and that. That was the last one. Look after the monkeys. Do your bit, because they've done their bit. That's it, yeah. But just because I'm not giving the news, look it up. Do you know what I mean? It's all out there. Don't be ignorant.
Wise words.
100 reasons, if I could.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome to the stage Pop Will Eat Itself? Carl, have you got like a sound effect or something of like
cheering?
We're going to test.
Cheering. We'll seek it out with.
Have you got something there? Have a look on there. I'm just looking in the NME for the kind of forthcoming gigs of the smaller known bands, and it might be a useful place to just begin the.
Ladies and gentlemen, peoples around the world, will you please welcome to the stage Chumba Awamba?
Have you got a sound effect? We got one. Nice, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome to the stage the Parkinsons? Playing in Leicester this week, so look forward to
That's
them.
a good plug, isn't it?
Let me see who else.
If anyone wants to pop down to Leicester to see the Parkinsons.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Cyclefly.
Okay.
Oh, there's a genuine one here. This is Simon's emailed, and he says, will you just test this name for us? Okay, Carl, if you can, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome to the stage Coach? Not utterly convinced.
No,
it's not too bad. It's not.
I'm worried about the sound effect. We start to sound like Chris Moyles or something.
Well, he's the top broadcaster. Everyone loves him.
Losing weight as well.
He is hilarious. funny man. Just there's one more coming here. I'll just check this one.
Ladies and gentlemen,
will you please welcome, this is Chris in Oxford, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, meanwhile back in communist Russia.
Is that a band?
I assume so.
I assume it's his band.
Yeah.
Well, how does he listen to us in, hold on now, this is only local radio, how does he listen to us in Oxford?
Well, if only there was some kind of digital format that he could listen via the web net.
What is it?
What is
what is it?
What?
How does he listen in Oxford?
You can listen on Sky Digital.
Go on.
Channel 864.
Lovely.
864. Yeah.
And, on the web.
Yeah.
Okay, what would that web address be?
xfm.co.uk.
Sure.
Click on the audio.
Yep.
And you get XFM 10 seconds behind it actually happened.
Perfect.
Just out of interest, what's the point of saying that if they can't sort of get us in London to listen to that, because they won't be, and they're either in London, so they won't go through this nonsense, or they're in Leicester, and they can't hear us saying Sky Digital.
Yeah, we haven't thought that through at all.
Because you might work in London for a bit, and then have a
go back and spread the word.
And, like, leave.
Yeah. Go back and spread the word, disciples.
Move back to Leicester.
Yeah.
Tell your mates.
Yeah. Soon,
any number of combinations.
Soon, XFM is the most listened to radio station in Britain.
Yeah.
What we need is people on Radio 2 to give it a plug every day.
That'd be ideal.
Yeah, or Radio 1.
Yeah. Any of the big rivals. Virgin. Yeah. I mean, we've often plugged Virgin. It's a good station.
105.8 Virgin Radio London.
It's a great station. Really good station.
Hard 106.2.
Lovely.
You're listening to Magic 105.4.
Are you getting quite a lot of voiceover work now, aren't you?
I am. Yeah.
That's not.
I've stopped all that though.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's all right. It's good.
Well, I'm all right now. I've got a bit of money.
classic 60s bands. I've just suddenly... Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome to the stage, The Scaffold.
Oh, The Scaffold.
You remember The Scaffold, Tom?
You picked the lead singer looks a bit like him. But you know his brother that is in The Scaffold, don't you? Mike McGear. Do you know his brother that is?
What?
Do you remember The Scaffold? They did, we'll drink a drink, the Lily the Pink, the Pink, the Pink, the human...
Yeah, thank you very much for the entry, Ian. Do you know whose brother that is?
Whose brother? The lead singer?
No, the Mike McGear in it. The sort of one of the main men in it.
He's one of the songwriters in,
McGear. No,
The Scaffold.
Paul McCartney.
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't realise that.
Yeah, that's Paul McCartney's brother. Think of that when they go home for Christmas. So I think Lily the Pink was what, about 1970?
Yeah. It was number 1, wasn't it? Christmas number 1?
Yeah, big number 1, yeah. I don't know if it was Christmas number 1. Two Little Boys was 1969, last year.
No, it definitely was number 1.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was Christmas number 1.
It was, because I remember I did it in
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they go home at Christmas and Mrs. McCartney goes, alright boys, how are you, Paul, how are you doing? I'm just starting a new band called Wings. Yeah, oh yeah, so this is Linda. Alright, yeah, sit down. Mike, what are you doing? Just had number 1. Brilliant, round of applause. How many number 1s do you have, Paul? 19. Still. We know what we like, don't we?
We'll drink the human race.
Paul goes, wow, if you want to. The long and winding...
Boring! We'll drink a Linda, do you want to be in, The Scaffold? We're probably going to go on tour and stuff, I know you love it. Well, I quite like it, yeah. We'll drink
You're not going to be in Wings if you're going to play with him.
Well, I got, make a tricky decision. I mean, that's a great song, everyone's loving it. It's Christmas number 1.
What are you doing eating his bacon?
Well, I love it.
You don't eat bacon?
Yeah, but I love the music. He's a great guy.
Stop it! What are you doing?
Well, I just, I love the music. We'll drink a drink. No, you don't.
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so...
Thank you very much for that.
Entry, Iron.
Imagine that, because imagine how different going, well, you've had 19 number 1s. I mean, it can be around time. Yeah, if you stay like this with The Scaffold, I'm going to rule the 70s.
Yeah, if things that carry on going like they're going now, The Scaffold, ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome
to the stage, Beck.
Oh, nice one. Dandy Warhols. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Dandy Warhols.
There you are, it's never going to
That sounds like Levellers crossed with Wonder Stuff.
Rubbish, isn't it, really? I mean, it's fine, it's chirpy.
It's a nice song, but it's it's not...
It's that thing of it's just not essential. You
just
don't really need it in your life. If it never occurred, you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
Do you know
what Carl just said?
Go on.
Were you listening?
Not really.
He looked out the window, and he looked at me, and he was looking at me, and I looked over at him, and he said, see, that would be good to die now. What? He went, that weather, that would be good to die. And I said, of what? He went, old age.
Yeah.
What's going on up there?
He's a philosopher, Rick.
He is,
He's on a different plane to us.
You can't say like that. The other week, I came in when it was really miserable, and I said to you, God, can you imagine dying today?
Yeah.
Because
whereas today you feel it would be a much better day to die because it's bright.
The curtains open, sun shining. It's like...
I mean, you'd still be a bit angsty about the dying thing, wouldn't you? I mean, I don't suppose that would be alleviated.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Well, hopefully we'll still be broadcasting, when one of us reaches that happy moment, and we can check.
Yeah.
It's quite a lot of emails, Rick, coming in about, band names. I think a lot of people are going wrong for a simple reason. They think it's funny to have an ironic band name.
Yeah.
They think it's a bit comical. And I just don't think there's any great bands that have had a comical name that have made it into stadium filling.
What was that band? Where's Me Jumper? What were they called?
I don't know what they were called. I mean, the obvious example of one that was never going to make it internationally.
Splodgeness Abounds? Splodgeness Abounds?
No.
I like them though.
Splodgeness Abounds.
Splodgeness Abounds, they were great.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Carter the Unstoppable Sex Machine.
USM.
These are some of the ones we've had emailed in. These are bands, obviously, that haven't made it so far, and I don't think they will. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, the Lazy Birds. Nope.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, the Paperclips.
That's not a real band,
That's what someone sent in.
I don't know, yeah, but no band name is weirder than the others, and also you grow into it. I mean, the Stones and the Beatles are iconic because they are iconic bands.
What you think you'll grow into? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shuttle Rock. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Treehouse Casino. I don't think they're gonna...
That's just made up!
Well, possibly.
Well, they all are,
but they all
obviously.
But my point is, people say there's no logic to band names, but if you think a band name like the Smiths, that's genius.
It is,
It sums up everything that band is about, the kind of... They're capturing that mediocre world of grim up northness,
My favourite, Sonic Youth.
Sonic Youth is genius.
Nirvana.
These are incredible band names, so there is some logic to it. I genuinely believe. It's not just arbitrary words.
What about
The Cure. The Cure.
Madness sounds rubbish, but they're good, aren't they?
Yeah, but again, they were never going to be They were never going to be world beaters.
But they were a comical band, essentially.
Yeah,
they were a knees-up party band,
yeah.
and Madness is fine for that.
But they had some great songs as well, and then it sort of turned it all, because then...
I mean, Rick, I don't know how many members...
Not Home Today is a great song, and
this is from an email. I don't know how many members of the band there are in Chimney Factory, but if there's 5 people, who decided? Did they all agreed? Yeah, that's the best name we can come up with.
Decided? Dell.
Right.
Well, he started the band, and they rehearsed around his house, so Dale went, look, it's called Chimney Factory, because my granny's doing it. They go, alright, Dale, but it's not, I've got some other, but no, it's called Chimney Factory.
I own the van and the amps.
There's Paperclips gone, there's a band in Leicester called Paperclips. We can't, we just argue over that forever.
And just all I'm saying is think before you name your band, alright? Because it's never going to happen if you've got a comical band name.
There was a feminist band called Clitoris All Sorts, which is quite good, isn't it?
But you laugh, and then you just think, oh...
Yeah.
You know, I'm never going to have that on my t-shirt. Imagine that. Clitoris All Sorts.
It's that time of the day now, talking of that.
Yep.
Song for the Lovers.
Sure, it's beautiful.
Now, Steve, I mean, I will play great old tunes till the cows come in. We got to give them a little bit of Dandy Warhols and Air and Athlete. I know that, and they're great, they're good, right? But, I wanted to play a Cat Stevens song, but I thought I'd better not, because I've, play that a little bit. And we quite like resurrecting old reputations, don't we? People like Elton John who had bad faces, or David Bowie.
People whose names now are largely laughed at in the serious rock
or people
circles.
that people might not have considered. I thought Cat Stevens, oh no, Rod Stewart, I thought.
Was he Rod Stewart? Many people now are thinking of the leopard hot pants and the ludicrous hair.
Think I'm Sexy and all those sort of awful stadium sort of disco things, but he wrote beautiful tracks from Maggie May and I thought, hold on, 2 birds with 1 stone. What about a Rod Stewart song written by Cat Stevens?
Wow. Is there such a thing?
The first cut is the deepest.
Let's hear it, Rick.